Today, we're diving into the 3 wildest, most mind-blowing Avengers Doomsday theories that could change the MCU forever. Could Tony Stark secretly be Dr. Doom? Did Doctor Strange intentionally break the multiverse to unleash Doom? And what if Doom is already here, hiding inside Tony Stark's body? Buckle up, because these theories are about to flip your understanding of the MCU upside down. Let's jump in. Theory 1. Iron Man was always Dr. Doom. What if Tony Stark, the genius billionaire who started it all, was never Tony Stark? This first theory is a game changer. It claims that the Tony Stark we followed from Iron Man to Endgame was actually a variant of Victor Von Doom, the iconic Fantastic Four villain. Let's break it down. Imagine this. He who remains, the mastermind behind the sacred timeline, knew that Dr. Doom was one of the most dangerous beings in the multiverse. To stop Doom from destroying everything, he who remains plucked a younger, less corrupted version of Victor Von Doom from another timeline and planted him in Earth 616, the main MCU universe. This Doom variant was adopted by the Starks, given the name Tony Stark, and raised to believe he was their son. He grows up, inherits Stark Industries, becomes a genius inventor, and eventually dons the Iron Man suit. But here's the kicker, he has no idea he's Doom. His entire life, building the suit, joining the Avengers, sacrificing himself to defeat Thanos, was part of a carefully orchestrated plan to keep the real Doom's legacy buried. This theory turns the entire Infinity Saga into a slow-burn story of control, not redemption. Tony's arc wasn't about becoming a better man. It was about keeping a dangerous variant in check. But when Tony died in Endgame, something broke. Without him, the multiverse started to fracture. Why? Because the real Victor Von Doom was never allowed to rise. With Kang defeated and the sacred timeline unraveling, those pruned timelines, ones where Doom ruled, are starting to leak back into existence. And now, this Doom variant is waking up. Maybe he's resurrected by multiversal tech, revived by Kang's machinery, or rewritten by the chaos of time itself. When he returns, he remembers who he really is, Victor Von Doom. And he's not here to save the world, he's here to conquer it. Now, this sounds insane, right? But Marvel's been dropping clues for years. Back in 2005, before Robert Downey Jr. was cast as Tony Stark, he auditioned to play Dr. Doom in the Fantastic Four movie. Kevin Feige and Jon Favreau even talked about this in Marvel's Iron Man anniversary video. They said RDJ had met with them for Doom before they considered him for Tony. What if this was Marvel planting a seed? Feige loves meta-storytelling. Think Ralph Bohner in WandaVision, or Channing Tatum's Gambit cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. Marvel knows fans catch these details, and they love making us scream when the pieces click. RDJ's return in Avengers Doomsday isn't just nostalgia, it's the ultimate twist. The Russo brothers even said recently, there's nobody else on Earth who could play this version of Doom like Robert Downey Jr. That's a huge hint. It suggests this Doom will feel like Tony Stark because maybe he was Tony Stark. This also ties into the comics. In one infamous storyline, after Tony Stark dies, Doom tries to redeem himself by becoming Iron Man. He wears the suit, fights evil, but nobody trusts him because they know he's not Tony. Now imagine that in reverse. Tony dies, then returns, but he's not Tony. He's Doom, reclaiming the legacy he was denied. The Time Variance Authority, TVA, plays a big role here. With Kang gone and the sacred timeline crumbling, the TVA's control is slipping. Pruned timelines are leaking, variants are escaping, and the void, the multiverse's dumping ground, is active again. Doom, now aware of his true identity, realizes the TVA stole his destiny. They turned him into a puppet, gave his face and future to Iron Man. So he infiltrates the TVA, maybe hacks their tech or uses his own dark sorcery mixed with Kang's temporal energy. His goal? to reclaim his place in the multiverse by seizing the Citadel at the end of time, where Loki is currently holding reality together. If this theory is true, Tony Stark's death didn't just end the Infinity Saga, it broke the multiverse, and now Doom is coming to fix it in his own twisted way. What do you think? Could Tony Stark really have been a Doom variant all along? Let me know in the comments. Theory 2. Doctor Strange made Doom. Let's talk about Doctor Strange and that iconic 14 million futures scene in Avengers Infinity War. We're told Strange looked at every possible outcome to find the one where they beat Thanos. But what if he wasn't just watching? What if he was shaping the future to create something even bigger and far more dangerous? This theory says Doctor Strange didn't just pick the path to victory, he intentionally broke the multiverse to unleash Doctor Doom. Here's the idea. Strange wasn't a passive observer in those 14 million futures. He was actively choosing a timeline, nudging events to create a specific outcome. In Multiverse of Madness, we learned that timelines are fragile. Incursions, collisions between universes can wipe out entire realities. Small decisions can cause massive chain reactions. Strange is no stranger to risky moves. This is the guy who gambled all of reality to help Peter Parker get into college. So what if Strange saw that the multiverse was already unstable? What if he decided the only way to save it was to break it first in a controlled way to rebuild something stronger? And what if that plan required bringing Doctor Doom into the picture? Let's connect the dots. Tony Stark is the heart of the MCU. He's the genius who built Ultron, broke the Sokovia Accords, invented time travel, and opened doors the Avengers are still dealing with. But it all started in the Avengers when Tony flew into that wormhole. That moment wasn't just heroic, it changed him. He saw something beyond the stars, something that haunted him. In Age of Ultron, Tony says Scarlet Witch's vision wasn't a nightmare, it was his legacy. But what if that vision wasn't from Wanda? What if, when Tony touched the cosmos in that wormhole, something touched him back? What if it was Victor Von Doom reaching across timelines? This theory suggests Doom's influence was leaking into Tony's mind from another universe. Maybe Doom was watching Tony, feeding him ideas, or even sharing knowledge. Strange would have seen this in his 14 million futures. He'd have seen timelines where Tony becomes too powerful, too reckless, and starts collapsing reality from within. So, Strange picks the one future where Tony dies, not just to stop Thanos, but to stop what Tony could become. But here's the twist. By choosing that future, Strange opened the door for Doom to rise. In Multiverse of Madness, we saw Strange cause an incursion between Earth 616 and Earth 838, nearly destroying both universes. What if that wasn't an accident? What if Strange wanted that collision because he knew Earth 838 was where Doom was hiding? In Earth 838, the Illuminati defeated Thanos, but their world wasn't safe. There's an empty seat at their council table. Fans thought it was for Kang, but what if it was for Doom? Maybe Earth 838 was a timeline where Doom was Iron Man, or where his mind lived inside Stark's tech. Strange might have pushed the incursion to draw Doom out, to force him into the open. Where is Doom now? He's in the void, the TVA's dumping ground for pruned timelines. It's the back door to the Citadel at the end of time, where Loki is holding the multiverse together. Strange didn't just see a future where they won against Thanos, he saw a future where Doom was trapped, waiting. But now with the multiverse cracking, Doom is escaping. He's coming for Loki's throne, aiming to become the anchor of all reality. If he succeeds, he'll forge Battleworld, a new reality shaped by his will. This theory paints Strange as a master manipulator, breaking the multiverse to save it. Did he make the right call, or did he unleash a disaster worse than Thanos? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Theory 3. The Doom Impostor. This final theory is the darkest yet. Robert Downey Jr. is coming back for Avengers Doomsday, but what if he's not playing a Tony Stark variant? What if he's Doctor Doom pretending to be Tony Stark by hijacking his dead body? This is straight up horror movie stuff, so let's dive in. In Multiverse of Madness, Wanda introduced dream walking, projecting your consciousness into another version of yourself across the multiverse. She used the Darkhold to do it, but when she destroyed every copy of the book, dreamwalking didn't necessarily die. Dr. Doom is a genius sorcerer and scientist, even taking the Sorcerer Supreme title in the comics. If anyone could crack dreamwalking without the Darkhold, it's him. This theory says Doom finds a way to dreamwalk into Tony Stark's corpse at the moment of his death in Endgame. He revives the body, steps into the sacred timeline, and walks among the Avengers as Tony Stark. Picture this: Doom, wearing Tony's face, voice, and memories, returns to the Avengers. They're broken after Endgame, desperate to believe Tony's alive. Peter Parker would be crushed, Rhodey would hesitate, and even Strange might not suspect the truth right away. Doom plays the part perfectly, helping the team through a crisis, earning their trust, maybe even leading them. Then when they're at their most vulnerable, he betrays them. Maybe he kills someone. Maybe he drops the mask, literally. A behind-the-scenes photo from RDJ's Instagram showed him with mocap dots on his face, even though Tony's supposed to be dead. What if those dots are for a damaged, half-decomposed Tony, his burned face hidden under the Iron Man suit? Doom isn't wearing the suit to honor Stark, he's using it to hide what's left of the body he stole. Why go to all this trouble? Because Tony Stark was the anchor being of Earth 616, the sacred timeline. Deadpool and Wolverine introduced anchor beings, characters whose existence stabilizes their universe. When Tony died, Earth 616 started to crack. And because it's the sacred timeline, every other universe began to unravel too. Doom sees a loophole. By taking Tony's body and identity, he can become the new anchor. But he doesn't stop there. He infiltrates the TVA, steals Kang's tech, and merges it with his own sorcery. His goal isn't to save the multiverse, it's to reshape it into Battleworld, a reality stitched together from dying timelines ruled by him. This sets up a cosmic race. The multiverse is collapsing in real time. Cities vanish, stars explode, realities bleed into each other. The Avengers, led by Sam Wilson, Doctor Strange, Bruce Banner, and Captain Marvel, are reassembling in chaos. The Thunderbolts, backed by the government, and the Fantastic Four, racing through a multiversal ship, join the fight. Even the X-Men from Earth 1005 are battling to save their dying world. They all have one goal: reach Loki, who's holding the multiverse together at the Citadel at the end of time before Doom does. Whoever gets to the throne first decides the fate of all reality. But Doom isn't racing. He's already in the void, his armor crackling with stolen Stark tech and Kang's temporal energy, his mind burning with forbidden sorcery. Every step he takes warps time. Every breath erases possibilities. He doesn't need to run. He's already won once by being Tony Stark. Now the heroes face a god wearing the face of their fallen friend, building Battleworld to rule all of existence. These three theories: Iron Man as a Doom variant, Strange breaking the multiverse to unleash Doom, and Doom hijacking Tony's body, could change the MCU forever. They tie together the TVA, the Void, Loki's throne, and the collapse of the multiverse into a story where Doctor Doom isn't just a villain, he's the shadow of the MCU's greatest hero. Which theory do you think is most likely? Or do you have your own wild idea for Avengers Doomsday? Drop it in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more MCU madness. The multiverse is breaking, and Doom is coming. Are you ready?